Hello dear all beautiful students, welcome again here for joining another biology class, and we are here on the chapter 5 and we already discussed many of the topics from chapter 5 and I gave you the syllabus of your upcoming test is on chapter 5. So we will go through another very important CQ types of question topics, related topics, that is the structure of teeth. We will go through understand about structure of teeth. So very first time we will try to draw a figure as that. So we will draw like this one, very first one. In this way we will try to have this one. You can also follow me for like that. It is just for having teeth structure. We will try to draw as that. Yes, so then we will try to draw it, make it double layered. You also do it by that parts, okay? And also having some this type of a structure, make it double, actually make it sheer double. It will be 100% okay as that, not actually mean that one. I mean it will be the structurally shape will be these types, and then we can have the features of that the structurally it is look like that one. Before drawing the figure, you will try to have the pencil, so it will be having the good drawing on that case, on that time. And in between them we can see another structure like this. Yes, and also have this one structure on going on through, and it will be on in lengthen in this way. And follow me here for drawing this one. So this way you will try to draw the figure actually. And these two will be burdening parts. That means in this way we will go through understanding about that parts. Yes, actually this is the structurally we can say about the teeth structure, as leaf venet. This one will be like that. In this way you can draw this one, and finally we can have the another outer part or layer like that. It is going on through, and this is the outer part on the musculars with having one. This way we will try to draw the figure, okay? So that's all about the structure we have drawn here, and you will ensure this one with you also with pencil, make it sure for drawing this type of structure. And we will now try to connect with this one in this way, okay? So this one we can see in this way of having that one. This is the part of crown. This is the crown. This is the neck, actually on going on through neck, and this part is the root. Then after the root, crown, neck and root. And then in that parts we will try to have understanding about that one, the enamel. This one is the enamel. You will try to write enamel, yes, enamel, AL, enamel. And then dentine is that part, is actually the dentine. dentin, okay, and later on this one is the pulp, yes, and this one is the gum. Actually, what is going on there? The gum, and then the nerve cord, of course, be there here. This is the nerve cord, and then in that part is actually cement, and jawbone, and another one is the blood capillaries. We have seen here the blood capillaries, and in below you will write figure LS of teeth. So this is the figure of LS of teeth. We will try to understand, and this one is very importantly going on through, my dear students. Very important topics for understanding for that one, and asking for CQ question, structure of the teeth actually. And I have seen the many of you are joining there. It's perfectly going on. Adib, I'm fine. Also you also Iftikhar, yes, Tahlil joining, also having nice to see all of you. Benita, yes, Rafiur joining, yes. Before exam, what will be the stopping last topics? That will be the, yes, your syllabus, since to see. Tanvir also joining, Mahbub Badal, Rakib Shaharin, Anika, Maksuda Khatun Doli. Actually, all of you are very good morning and walaikum assalam. I hope so that you are connecting as like as the previous time for understanding the topics, and very important topics. Today's topics is very important topics we discussed and starting discussing here. So first one is the all over the structure of teeth typically consists of three parts actually. Typically, okay, many of the parts, but main three parts of the teeth we can see. Very first one, number one, is the crown. The above the part above the gum, Actually, what I actually make you understand, try to make you understand. This is the, it is, you cannot think about this is the upper part. This part is touch in our mouth. That means the muscular part with them, and this one is the frontal part that we can see. Okay, so this is the crown, actually frontal part. It is just above the gum. This, look at that neck, where the gum started in the neck, just above part. This part is actually the crown. Okay, and root, later on the number two is the root. Yes, the inner part below the gum, the inner part below the gum, inner part below the gum, it is the root. We have seen just neck after this one, gum after gum in the neck, and below or inner part below the gum you can write the root. And third one is the neck. Number third is the neck. Yes, neck, we can see there the tooth between crown and the root. The teeth part between crown and root, This is the neck actually, crown and root. This is the neck. So we have seen these three parts actually going on there. Beside then we can see there the tooth components. Okay, three parts and many components. Three parts we have seen: the crown, neck and root. Crown is the upper part, neck is the middle part, root is the lower part of the gum. We have seen, and many components. What are the components have we seen? The important components that we can write about. First one is the dentine. Dentine is importantly the main part of the tooth. This is the main part, very important, and several times asking. Main part of the teeth and composed of hard substance. Composed of hard substance. Composed of hard substance. Dentine, the main part. It is the dentine is known as the, which one is the main part of the teeth? Dentine. Which part composed of hard substance? Dentine. So it is also asking a question also. And number two is enamel. And enamel is known as the hardest component of the tooth. Hardest part or component, you can write. Hardest part or component. Hardest part or component of the teeth. I will make you understand. Many of the students missing this one, so that some missing also be there. Actually, calcium phosphate, then calcium carbonate, and fluoride. They composed of calcium phosphate, calcium carbonate, and fluoride. This one. And yes, now we will go through the later on or next one. Before that, I want to say the students where the missing part are going on there. Look at here. First three we understood clearly, but later on what we actually going on through the dentine and enamel. Dentine is the main part and composed of hardest substance. Okay, but hardest part, if it is asking for, many of you write the dentine. No, hardest part or component is known as the enamel, but dentine composed of hardest substance, but they are most hardest part of the teeth. Again I repeat, well, I want to say asking for which part composed of hardest substance. Both is correct, dentine and enamel. But which one is known as the hardest component? That will be the enamel, because they are known as the hardest component. They main part, dentine is the main part, but composed of hardest substance. So they are basically hardest. Okay, basically hardest. Enamel basically hardest component, but dentine composed of hardest substance. If there is composing part is less or more, that times their variation will be there, the hard, how much hard, but they are basically hardest component. Don't be missing, enamel is the hardest part and dentine is the part composed of hardest substance. Both of them, dentine also calcium phosphate, calcium carbonate and fluoride, for make them hardest, and they contain the hardest substance. If they contain calcium phosphate only, they are hard. They also be hard, but not as much. When they composed of three part, full of them, they will becoming hard, but they are basically composed of basically the hardest part of the teeth. Don't missing that one. Okay, the number another two parts is there for teeth. That one is number C is pulp. We can write about yes, we have where we have seen, look at here. Then dentine is the inner part and outer part is the enamel. That is the hardest part, and they composed of the hard substance. pulp. Beside then, just below, look at here, dentin covered the surrounds a pulp cavity. That means dentin covered. The pulp is covered by dentin. It is covered with dentin. We can see there, dentin. It is covered with dentin. Very first one we can write. Yes, with blood vessel. Of course, it composed of blood vessel and blood vessel actually artery and vein. It is given as given we can artery and vein. This is covering by dentin, and they composed of blood vessel, artery and veins, almost all of them, and doing on there. Yes, it is a soft cell. It is soft cell with nerve tissues. Look at here. I have written here very important three features of the pulp. It is covered with dentin. We have seen, composed of blood vessel. Of course, the blood vessel and blood capillaries, that means artery and vein. Soft cell. The hard shell inside. Then when a teeth is falling down, we have seen a thin something is there, soft. They also contain in their lower part the nerve cord or nerve cell. Okay, so this is the pulp. Now we understand the pulp. And number 4 is the cement. Cement is the number 4. And the main part of the tooth, dentin, covered this thin covering. That means dentin also, where is the cement? Look at here, in that part, lower part of the dentin, lower part of teeth covered by dentin. It is also covered by dentin, and lower part of the teeth, yes, of course, this one, and attach the gum. Teeth attached. We can write teeth attached with the gums. By means of cement. Look at here, cement. Where we use the cement actually for making a building, using the cement for attaching something. So lower part, from the lower part we have seen this part, lower part, it is covered also a thin membrane by dentin, and it is attached this teeth with the muscular part with the gums is nothing but cement. The gums where we have written, they are also having attached with the tooth part. That means very importantly we can say the lower part of that teeth can attach the teeth with the muscular tissue by means of cement. So that's all about the structure of the teeth, and it is very important. It is asking for several times, my dear students. It is not only for this time, it is asking for several times in public exam. Okay, very important topics we discussed today. So my dear students who are joining later after publishing the class, do it from the first and then, because it is very, very important class, and it is very, very important question and topics we discussed here. That's all about today. Everyone, stay safe, stay sound. Allah Hafiz.